So one of the users said, can you use an external heat source to speed this up? And what if the condenser came from a heated warehouse that morning? All right, so what I would like to say is, let's say it's 110 degrees outside. You go outside and grab a can of refrigerant. Shake it. Is there liquid in that? If it's got nowhere to go, you're going to have liquid in it.
Right.
That's the entire purpose of that crankcase, is not only to heat it up, pull the liquid refrigerant out of it and all that, it also makes sure that it's not one of the cold spots in that system. So you can put it in an accumulator or receiver or oil separator or coil elsewhere besides it ends up being
anywhere but there.
Well,
So-
that's one of the laws of refrigerants.
Yeah.
It will migrate to the coldest point.
Right.
So if that coldest point is the compressor oil, then all the liquid refrigerant is going to be in the compressor.
Right. Well, I mean, you can look at the condensing temperature, for example, on an outdoor unit while it's running. Do you have liquid in that condenser coil? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, if you don't, it won't be running for long, right? So, next one is kind of related to the same thing. If I cannot do the proper pre-start power and heating of the compressor, then I take an electric heater or two with me, run extension cords to the heat pump from 2 separate circuits on the house, and use a large blanket over the outside of the heat pump to hold some of that heat in and around the compressor. And then you'll need to remove the top to set the heaters down in there. I guess that probably depends on which model we're talking about. So can you use an external heat source to speed this process up?
Yeah, why not?
You can. I think on GREE's equipment, it's going to be a little tougher because you've got an insulated jacket all the way around there. You're going to have to pull that jacket back and everything and get your heat source. But yeah, you could actually speed up the process.
That being said, kind of like the previous comment, if you just got it from the warehouse and that happened to be a heated warehouse, then it's going to be less warm up time versus it's in a warehouse that's 0 degrees.
I mean, I would kind of posit that you're going through a lot of trouble when it sounds to me like you could just easily hook up the line voltage, go do the other things in your install, and then come back later and you're kind of past your warm-up time.
Yeah.
Because unless you're lightning fast, you still got a
super fast or
bunch of other work to do.
Right. I'll tell you,
While you got power applied.
I mean, I understand not want to wait around, for it to start up and all that, but all we have to really do is just change the mindset, the process around how we're going to do our startup. I know that we like to get everything buttoned up and, put the disconnect in, get a call, and then go hang out in the van, write this invoice and all that stuff, and then you're good to go. All we're talking about doing is getting power applied to the outdoor unit as early as possible. Get the vacuum pulled as early as possible.
And release that charge.
Release that charge
Let
as
it do
early
its
as
thing.
possible. Give it a place to go.
Yeah.
You do that. You change the order in which that's done. Unless you're Jesus Fraga, you're probably not getting that swap out done in 2 minutes or whatever.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit further because it's an industry standard. It's not GREE.
Well, you're also pulling a vacuum.
It's across
too,
the
right?
board.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it is going to take a little while.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then we got more problems.
Right.
But it's an industry standard across the board. Right. 20 years ago, we didn't have heat pumps in Syracuse.
Yeah.
We didn't have them in Montreal.
Bismarck.
Wherever.
Yeah.
And so it's just something that wasn't looked at or advertised or told or taught or trained on in the past. And so as we move along and we learn more about places that I would be scared to live permanently because it's so cold.
You'll be right.
I'm from Georgia.
Well, this also brings up another interesting part that I think people tend to overlook too. And I've taken this call. So whether it be a mini split, it'd be multi-pro or any other piece of equipment, the homework complained about an air code and they turned off the power, turned off the breaker and the panel to the unit. And then the technician's not going out there for a couple more days. That inherently is the same problem.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well,
Leave it out on air code. Leave it powered. When you get there, then you can power that system down and reset the air code. You're only talking about a 5 to 10 minute power down, powering it right back up. But we need to keep that compressor heated, even though the machine's not working.
right. Yeah, there's also oil viscosity. I mean, is anybody that up there? I mean, Steve Sievers, one of our my friends.
Well, when you pull up to a restaurant and they got an extension cord
Exactly. Right.
sitting there so you can
for
plug
your
in your
car?
truck.
Yeah, so they plug it in, an engine block heater, because the viscosity of the oil gets so poor or so thick, I guess, so high that it's no longer going to provide the proper lubrication for it. So it's not only liquid refrigerant, but it's also the viscosity of the oil. Yes, of course, if it's in a heated warehouse and all that, sure. But how long does it take to get that, compressor cold again? I don't know. I have no idea. If it's negative 30 outside, you're putting in the heat.
Yeah, if you go pick it up in the evening and then the next morning you're installing it, then it's really
Right.
cold in the back of the truck. And
Right. So as soon as we can get, power onto that, the better. Yeah.
Well, I don't think the vacuum pump's gonna start too good either.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, keep that maybe in the front of the truck in the floorboard or
I
something.
can I can test to that when I used to run.
I've seen that
cans.
one on a
I
job
used to-
site.
I used to
Yeah.
put it up in front of the van just so it would run when they got to the job.
Yeah, I mean, we've
I used to put
experienced
my
all that.
refrigerant drum in the passenger side and turn the heat on and go into the job, just
Yeah, be able to get the refrigerant in it. Yeah, right.
my heat blanket quit working, so
So you had a DOT rated rack in the front of your truck?
oh yeah, 100%.
That's amazing. Oh. Put a seatbelt around it.
Yep.
Okay. Safety first.
Had that little green jug sitting next to him.
Yeah. Reach over and turn the airbag off so you don't,
Oh,
hurt
it didn't have airbags back then.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh,
Put an ad on it.
No,
Oh, okay.
I just
Well,
put my jacket on it.
Okay.
so drive a HOV lane? Yeah.